Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of our Icenia Rises campaign. However, have fallen fast. We, of course, became the glorious Empire of Albion and actually stretched all the way from the tips of Scotland to, well, basically Ukraine and like modern-day Russia. However, as you can tell, we are fighting a huge civil war at the moment, the Britannic revolt. We really let our loyalty get away from us. I'm not saying I did it intentionally, but I'm also not saying I did anything to necessarily stop it. Mostly because I kind of wanted to fight a little civil war, just to see what happens. I've never had to fight a civil war on this magnitude. I was kind of excited to try out, just kind of see what the civil wars looked like. However, we may have asked for a little bit too much as well. We currently are in a world of trouble. We are trying to go ahead and retreat our armies off of mainland Europe. We have taken them back to England, back to the United Kingdom. We are going to go ahead and clean up a little bit of Scotland and Ireland. Let's go ahead and make sure that we control our home. And then I don't see anyone being able to stop us on the seas. So that should mean that we should be relatively safe here. I also have a very large army that if they were able to stop us on the seas, we could probably send out any of their advancements and send them back into the seas. However, it is going to be a tough fight, that is for sure. We may find ourselves fighting the Civil War for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and build just a bunch of hex reams. We are making plenty of money with 84 gold per month, but now, of course, our adversaries will be as well. And while Venta is a very, very strong city, we are currently really not able to feed it super well. How sad the Emperor is getting. The Emperor has gout. Well, he wasn't a great Emperor anyway, and his reign is going to be marred by this horrible revolution, even though he was relatively successful in expanding the boundaries of the empire. This revolt is certainly gotten out of hand and is a major stain on how I'm sure the future generations will remember his reign. Let's go ahead and send you up here. Let's see, citizen output, what's something we definitely need? Fort defense would be decent. National slave output, I think I'm actually going to go, well, I need monthly general loyalty. My generals already hate me, why don't want to force them into another civil war. We are losing territory very rapidly. That's for sure. However, we are also gaining some ground in... We are concentrating our war efforts into one spot. We are not necessarily going to worry about what happens on the mainland yet. We're playing the long game. This is going to be a long fight. Well, as long as we can make it. I do think if we were not separated by... salt, no, let's go with fish. Fish. And more fish. Oh dear, it looks like they actually are starting to build a navy, which is worrisome. Worrisome indeed. We're losing a lot of territory. Let's go ahead and have our navy engage. And we're just losing so much territory, left, right, and center. I'm pretty sure that our revolting country has become the most powerful nation on Earth, whereas we are just going to try to hold the ground. Hold ground, retake Ireland, retake Scotland, which is almost back under our control. Make sure that we are not beat on the seas. That's the big one. Make sure that we are not beat on the seas. Speaking of not being beat on the seas, let's go ahead and take some of these naval inventions that I had kind of neglected to take earlier. We could also get some new research advisors, although I'm really not worried about that right now. We are defeated yet again. Well, at least we aren't defeated in our homeland. That's the major thing. Looks like they've gone on a huge building project, which, hey, I'm all for. In fact, maybe I should let some of these buildings finish before I capture them. Pirates ahoy! A messenger has been sent by someone. A fleet of pirates has attacked the port and it does not look like they are going to let up anytime soon. She is asking for aid immediately to put an end to this. Some of our other advisors at court have suggested making a more permanent change to our laws to make sure this problem will not resurface. So, I could say the system needs to be changed to fix this. We'll get the anti-piracy edict, monthly general loyalty up by 0.5%, or by 0.05. Anti-piracy casus belli, yes. She would gain some loyalty. We'd lose 50 political influence. I'm just going to go with she can deal with it. Yeah, and they have taken all of Gaul, as well as most of our eastern territories, too. We no longer can build horse archers, I'm going to guess. That seems to be something that they can only do now. Yep, we don't have the steppe horses anymore, so our empire that once stretched all the way to the steppes themselves has very quickly fallen apart, which, honestly... Alright, so for this game, it's not great. It's going to be difficult for us to come back from this, if we can come back from it at all. But from just a general gameplay perspective, I don't know, I kind of like how the game has countered me. It gives me a nice in-game boss, if you will, because I was starting to get up there. I only have about 30 years left in this playthrough, because, well, the game ends in 727. And we have gotten this nice rise and fall of the Albion Empire to... well, tell our grandchildren about. So, even if we are not able to completely come back from this revolt, well, you know what? The Romans, they also collapsed in real life, so it's not something that we should be ashamed of. We should be happy we got there rather than sorry that we fell apart. Obviously, that is not an excuse. We definitely need to make sure we win this. And I would love to, in the next 30 years, retake my Gaulish territory, retake my territory on the steppes, and maybe even push a little farther, but, well, I don't necessarily see that happening, especially not with Luctarius III. He is not exactly amazing at his job. Let's go ahead and move some of these armies to the south. I do believe that now that we're losing access to some of these... Wait, we just had a slave rebellion. Where was that? Right here. Alright, well, we'll put that down very quickly, hopefully. We definitely don't want them taking any territory. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show them leniency. I definitely want slave happiness to be up. Okay, cool. Someone gains the Conqueror trait. Good for her. Now let us continue on, making sure that we own all of Ireland as well as Scotland. Scotland is ours, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and move just this army to Ireland and move all the others to the south. We are defeated yet again on the mainland. That's our last army in mainland Europe. So... unfortunately, they are kind of alone. They are being forced to defend for themselves. It's been a long time since we had meaningful fights in Great Britain, so this could be interesting. It's not great, but we're surviving. We will survive. The Albion Empire will remain strong, and at the very least, we will hopefully control our islands. You can definitely get a lot more trade routes. Well, I just definitely get iron. And let's definitely get the grain. And I guess let's just go ahead and get whatever food we can. Because currently we just don't have enough food to support our population. Having surpluses of all these things are good too. We could donate $1,000 to the poor, gain 10 stability, and then we'd also have a 50% chance of gaining some popularity. Yeah, I definitely need the stability, that's for sure. Definitely don't need any more cash, so let's do that. Alright, that actually puts us on positive for food. And so we are still taking back Ireland. Oh. Well, you know what? Honestly, that's probably the most realistic event that's happened in a long time. Our emperor has become depressed. And, well, I would be too if I let the grandest empire that had ever existed in all of history collapse. Let's go ahead and move some of these armies. After we finish taking Ireland, we are going to... Oh no, they built a fort. Alright. Well, we'll have to just take the fort. We still have our tribute. Is our tribute still giving us money? Yes, they are, so that's good. I mean, not that it really matters. I would much rather have an alliance instead of a tributary at the moment. But honestly, in the face of these odds, any alliance I had would lose. I mean, pure and simple. Alright, so now it is just a question... Well, let's get these 80,000 troops back to Venta. Let's get you back to Durabonium. And so now we are in a situation where, ooh, look at their little navies trying to get by. So let's take a look at what kind of navy they have. They have exactly one ship. So right now we still control the seas. Let's go ahead and try to make sure we keep control of the seas by sinking their one and only ship. We've unfortunately had a poor harvest. I'm going to go ahead and say seize the grain from all visiting merchants. We're going to gain some popularity, but gain a bunch of corruption. We have a 25% chance of gaining that stability, and we did get it! It went up from 56 to 66. Perfect. We are surviving. The Iceni people will survive. And indeed, maybe even recapture / reconquer. Let's go ahead and look at just the region map. Not region map mode, what am I talking about? Let's do the culture map mode. You can see that we spread the Iceni culture far. Considering the Iceni culture just starts out, I believe, in the province of Icenia. And, well, take a look at it now. We really did put our mark on the world. I believe we have one of the most, if not the most, widespread cultures in the entire game. So... even though we are losing our last vestiges of empire, we are still a very strong country, and we are still going to be fine. Let's go ahead and bring... oh, good. Their last fortress in Ireland has fallen. Let's go ahead and bring these boats around, retake Malta. Or not Malta, the Isle of Man. Malta's in the Mediterranean. The Isle of Man is here. Or as it's called in this game, Manvia. Manavia. Something like that. Meanwhile, I want to go ahead and move a bunch of my troops from Ireland towards the southern coast of England. Let's get them ready for what would surely be a bloodbath if we did decide to assault the continent. However, we are gaining a lot of manpower per month, as I am sure they are as well. Let's go ahead and just start building other armies. So I'm going to go ahead and build 2 more armies. First, for now, I'm just going to put 1 archer in each army, and then I will build to that army. I'm also going to go ahead and hire these mercenaries, since we have the money and have the military experience. And, well, right now, what we need are bodies, not gold. Also going to hire these 21,000 then. We're still making over 50 gold per month. Our big money-making provinces are definitely in the UK. Well, in Albion proper. Ooh, I guess I could have this army come up here. We need to take back Ornicky. I believe that's Ornicky. The Orcods. Or is that Ornicky? Forgive me, I don't know my northern Scottish islands super well. Let's go ahead and keep importing. Well, how are we doing with food in Venta? Yeah, so let's just go ahead and keep importing food to Venta. We'll get the grain. Alright, so we have a chance to shame a governor in the midst of a fallow season. One of our most esteemed governors held a vast and lavish party in his summer palace. Even his most loyal subordinates were shocked at the display of contempt for the plight of the common man, and have written directly to us demanding the some manner of justice. I guess that should be that. Demanding that some manner of justice is served. Demand payment to the territory. He would lose a bunch of loyalty. I don't really want that. He would lose 40 loyalty that way. Unfortunately, I need him to gain loyalty here, so I'm going to say the commoners be damned, I guess. We are not a very well-liked emperor, that is for sure, but we do still control the largest army in the land. So, I mean, at least there's that. Speaking of armies, let's go ahead and build these 2 armies. So, I'm going to start out with 1,000 men. And let's go ahead and build 4 more archers. 5 chariots, 5 heavy infantry, and 5 mounted skirmishers. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Alright, so there's army. Look at all of the troops that I'm building. Of course, we should note that they are probably building lots of troops too. Look at how many cohorts they have. They have 460 cohorts. Let's see how that compares to me. Let's get these men landed so that we can get that army off. Let's see how that compares to me, though. We have 302 cohorts. Alright, so they have 158 more cohorts than me, so uh-oh. Either way, we control the seas. We must keep control of the seas, so I'm going to actually build a whole bunch more Liburnians. And hope that that can keep them from, well, launching a naval invasion of the only territory that Albion still controls. We have utterly been crushed on the mainland itself. There was not much we could do to stand up to the just pure number of soldiers they had. See what their manpower looks like. Their manpower is very low. Okay, so there's at least that. And I think part of this might be because they're... Okay, so hear me out. Their AI went... Ooh, and they're also at war with Rome. I guess fun? But their AI built these huge armies when they were like standing up to me. And I think that they like stay locked with those armies because they're loyal to those generals. So then when that happens, let's keep going monthly general loyalty up to counteract some of the horrid side effects of my low legitimacy. But one of the side effects of that is that it doesn't seem as if they can really handle the attrition, hopefully. So hopefully they will just continue to just shed manpower while we gain it. I am definitely going to very soon try my hand at an invasion. Yes, that's right. I'm going to try to retake some territory. What I'm thinking is I'm going to try to take this little peninsula. Ooh, looks like we're going to defeat their one and only ship. So let's see. Is that still their one and only ship? No, they have one more. But I think I'm going to try to take this little peninsula here. Maybe push up into the road, and then try to build maybe a fort or two. Maybe very much a bite and hold type of strategy. Looks like we have a new emperor. That actually is going to do us a world of good. Our legitimacy is going to go up by a huge sum. However, we do still have very, very low legitimacy because... Or we still are losing a lot of legitimacy every month because our ruler is very, very unpopular. So, what can we do to fix that? Well, we can make him more popular. Let's give that a shot. Let's first look at his popularity. Alright, so his popularity is not terrible. It's at 49.5. Now, all of a sudden, though, the max loyalty out there can be much higher. So now the max loyalty is 86.66. Oh my goodness, thank goodness. Let's, alright, so let's first try to get our what's him called? Our emperor to become more popular. So we definitely don't want to do that. We could have him prove his legitimacy. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that. Does he have a... Ooh, I want to make sure I move him to that really good army. So I'm actually going to, I think, fire him from this army. And instead put you in charge. And then in 1 year, he will be available to be hired. Right now, he can't be hired, but in 1 year, yeah, 23rd of September, 691, he will be available to be hired there. He could fight in some battles. That would make him popular. Also, there will be events that make him popular as well, hopefully. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move this navy to here. This is going to be kind of a rapid action type of affair, where I need to move a bunch of troops over to the mainland very, very quickly. Unfortunately, none of them have none of my generals are great. And I do actually think they have lots of really good generals. Oh well, it's going to be tough. Let's see how they're doing with their war against Rome. Are they still fighting that? It's the first Roman-Britannic War. The war is fought over... Alright, so it looks like... It looks like Rome is losing that war, so it looks like they're winning. I would expect nothing less, but hopefully that means maybe they have a lot of armies in the south. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to come in and take this little peninsula. We'll have to see how that goes, though. Is there a fort there? No, there's not. So let's go ahead. Let's put these two armies in these boats. And we're going to start with these 36,000 men here. This is hopefully, although I don't have exactly high hopes, but this is hopefully the beginning of the reconquest of, well, I'm going to go ahead and say the world. The Iceni people we have conquered before, and we will conquer again. Hey, look at that. Our legitimacy is all of a sudden ticking up. Thank you, court philosopher. Thank you, a relatively popular ruler. Maybe even a lot of these Britannic disloyal characters wouldn't have even been disloyal anymore. I guess that's what we really needed. We needed our Emperor to die. Unfortunately, he wasn't about to do that. He unfortunately kind of ran the country into the ground, but now it is left up to his son to try to bring us back. So I'm going to immediately go ahead and actually tear this down and build a fort. And actually, I'm also going to go ahead and found a city as well. My hope here, and again, this is a big hope, but once I can found a city, I can... Maybe I should have actually invaded somewhere like here that already is a city. Can I cancel the city building? No, I can't. I'm just going to make it a city. Cool. Alright, well, whoops. I should have invaded here. My plan, though, is to start to heavily fortify any area that I take. So I was actually going to build a city so that I could put multiple start stacking multiple fort levels on top of one another. That way, even if they did come and try to take the peninsula back, it would be a very difficult fight for them. And it would allow me to shuttle troops in across the channel into port. I would get the defender bonus. Hopefully it would give me a permanent foothold. But you know what? It didn't happen. So we're going to try it. We're going to try to build a city. We're also going to try to build a fort. And I'm going to try to go ahead and attempt a quick breakout. I'm going to go ahead as well and move another army of 20,000 men. I'm going to move this army as well. Let's go ahead and get ready to re-support. Any mercenaries that I come across, I will also go ahead and take. Alright, so we could... Okay, so we've been denied legitimacy. Great. Word has reached us that Brusitius Doratus has been spreading dangerous rhetoric that calls into question my right to rule, challenging him on the grounds of birth, efficacy, and morality. This could be a cause for widespread dissent if these claims are not dealt with. Well, I'm definitely going to publicly repudiate his lies. Oh, well that's great. He's no longer loyal. Cool. So now he's going to do his own thing. I might lose those 20,000 men. Oh well. I could go ahead and start thinking about just recruiting a bunch of mercenaries. I mean, I don't necessarily mind doing that if it comes to it. I can also keep building armies. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Let's go ahead and recruit another archer, and we'll use them to move a bunch of men in. Let's go ahead and put these mercenaries into some boats. The mercenaries will at least stay loyal to me. I definitely am glad that there's a port there. And now let's go here to Curiosacum. Alright, so now that I've taken Curiosacum, I'm going to once again go ahead and get rid of the farming settlement. Don't care about it. Let's build a fort. I can only build the one fort, but I'm going to build it. Looks like this army is just going to kind of do his own thing. That's fine, I guess. I'm surprised I haven't ran into any resistance so far. I kind of planned on having to retreat away from some fights here. But if they want to fight me, then, or if they don't want to fight me, then I will gladly take some more territory. I am not looking to get into extremely decisive engagements here. Instead, I'm just looking to try to take a little bit of land, see if I can get in and get out, and build a couple forts to maybe lock down the land a little bit better. Build another full army there. Yeah, so I'm trying to just lock down the land a little bit. We'll see how that goes. So far, I haven't met any major resistance, which is, of course, a plus. I also am not exactly moving the most stellar armies, or the most stellar generals over across the channel. If I can push through and take all of Brittany, I'll do so. I don't want to lose my avenue for retreat, though. I can see that they are starting to build a grander navy, so I'm going to make sure that I stay at least alert to that. Let's take a look at how many ships that they have built. They have currently 13 ships, so they are trying to make a play, I think, for naval dominance. Which I don't necessarily blame them for. I'm going to go ahead and build some more ships. We'll just go ahead and start out with 2 Liburnians. We will, of course, build larger and greater fleets when we have the opportunity. So, interesting. Ooh, the Parthian Civil War has ended. So, one civil war can come to an end. Why can't ours? Looks like their army has finally showed up. And it seems like it has showed up in mass. So let's go ahead and retreat our men back to the territory that we originally talked about taking. I'm not necessarily trying to go too crazy here. Well, we've once again taken back the Rock of Ages, although we probably won't be able to hold it for very long. I don't know how many men they have nearby us, but I'm going to go ahead and try to win this fight. Looks like they don't want any part of it, so I'm actually going to go ahead and back out. I wish these 19,000 men were more loyal to me. Let's go ahead and maybe just bribe him. Yeah. So we will have him go ahead and take that territory, but then let's go ahead and have him at least start to pull back a little bit. Let's move these 20,000 men up. This is very like Victoria II style, where you maintain a very long, strong front line. I'm actually going to take these 20,000 men and let's force a naval engagement with at that port. Looks like their movement locked in, so let's go ahead and wreck their day. Oh, buddy, get wrecked. Well, unfortunately, we are not going to do that. If I just kept these armies moving there. Looks like they will engage here. We are going to have a fight. I repeat, we are going to have a fight. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, so they have the tactics advantage. That's okay. Let's find you. Are you my good general? Yeah, so you are the 7 general. So let's look at their tactic. Let's see how they're fighting. They are using the turtle. And they don't even have a general right now. So they're using the turtle. I wonder what you will bring in. Well, we'll counteract the turtle with something good against the turtle, like skirmishing. It's not great, but we'll be fine. And we are going to, it looks like, easily win this fight. They're going to take more casualties than us, and the Operation Retake the Mainland has officially begun, as the first major battle on the mainland has gone to the loyal Iceni people instead of the nasty Britannic revolt. And that is unfortunately where well, you know what, let's go ahead and see what happens when these 22,000 men march into our 70,000. We once again are victorious. We have defeated about 6,000 of their troops. That is excellent, and we will win again. So, I'm going to have to go ahead and end it there. We are making huge strides, honestly, from where we were at the beginning of the episode. We are taking back some of our territory. I'm going to look to go ahead and start shuttling some more armies over across the channel into the mainland Europe. Let's go ahead and give them a fight, especially since they are currently fighting down in Rome as well. And I do believe that most of their cohorts are probably down here or way out here in the eastern part of what was once our grand glorious empire. I say it was once our grand glorious empire, but it will be again. Well, we'll have to see, because we don't have a ton of time left in this game. But, well, we'll see what happens, and I'm excited to be going down this path. I hope you're excited to join me. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you, as they say, on the next one.